You can start the meeting now, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's meeting of the Cabinet. During the live broadcast, members and officers are asked, please ensure that your mobile phones are placed in silent mode and that microphones are switched off while not in use. Would Member Services Agenda Item 1 please report any apologies for absence?
Thank you. We've had apologies from Councillor Hoy and Councillor Tierney.
Thank you very much indeed. Agenda Item 2 are the previous minutes. We're being asked to approve the public minutes, which are on pages 3 to 6 of the agenda pack. We're being asked to approve those as a correct record of the meeting, which took place on the 12th of December 2022. May I ask any member who doesn't agree with the minutes to indicate that now? I see no objections to the proposal to approve the minutes as a correct record of the meeting, so they are now agreed and I will sign them. Thank you, Councillor. Agenda Item 3, urgent items. Well, there are no urgent items for consideration today. Agenda Item 4 is to receive any declarations of interest under the local code of conduct or any interest under the code of conduct on planning matters in respect of any items to be discussed at this meeting. If you have anything to declare, please can you inform the meeting now? Councillor Mrs. French.
Thank you, Leader. I don't have a pecuniary interest, but I do want to declare on item 8 that I am actually a member of the Future High Street working group, but I am not predetermined. I actually didn't read the papers until this morning, so I can speak on it.
Thank you. Any other declarations? Councillor Count.
Thank you. I didn't realise that was necessary to declare it, but I'll declare the same. I'm on that working group. I'm not predetermined. Thank you.
Thank you. I will point out that the fees and charges are agenda item 5. If anyone has anything to declare under fees and charges, it might be appropriate to do so now. If anything occurs to any members during the course of the meeting, including during fees and charges, you can of course make the declaration immediately. Right. Move on then to agenda item 5, which is fees and charges for 2023-24, which is on pages 7 to 32 of your agenda pack. And this is the report which comes through every year about the changes which are being made or being proposed to be made to fees and charges for the year 23-24. These were given to the overview and scrutiny panel to consider at its meeting on the 16th of January 2023, and they recommended that the proposals be approved in full. They made no suggestions as to any amendments. Generally, the fees and charges have increased by inflation where it is appropriate to do so. In some cases, the fees and charges are set nationally. We don't have any discretion about them at all. And in some cases, given the competitive market which exists in some areas, the fees and charges have been changed to take into account that particular competitive market. At the meeting of overview and scrutiny on the 16th of January, they were told that these proposals would generate further income from fees and charges of an estimated £173,620. That estimate has since been reduced to about £146,000, but that is still very much under consideration, and I'm hopeful that that 146,000 estimate will increase before the final budget figures are given, but it does depend on receipt of certain information. Right, so I'm happy to propose the fees and charges for 23-24 as scheduled. May I have a seconder, please? Councillor Seaton, thank you very much indeed. And the item is now open for discussion. Does anyone have any comments to make about fees and charges? Councillor Mrs. French.
Yeah, I did attend the overview and scrutiny, and they were more than happy, so I'm more than happy to support this.
Thank you very much indeed. Any other comments? Then I will put it to the vote. So the recommendation is on page 7 and requests that we consider the recommendations we've just been talking about from the Overview and Scrutiny Committee on the 16th of January, and that we approve the fees and charges for 23-24 as printed. Is this agreed? Those in favour, please show. That's unanimous. Thank you very much indeed. Agenda item 6 is the Investment Board update, which is on pages 33 to 40 of the public agenda pack. Now, this is the annual report which is produced from the investment board, just to let Cabinet know what the situation has been, what progress there's been over the last 12 months. And that progress has been very succinctly listed under key issues, and there's more detail in the report itself, of course. Are there any questions? Oh, first of all, may I have a seconder for this? Councillor Benny, thank you very much indeed. Are there any questions or comments on the investment board annual report? It is just for noting, if I remember correctly. So there isn't going to be a vote on it, but no questions or comments? Then we will accept this. We will note it and accept it. Thank you very much indeed. Right. We should now move to agenda item 7, which is on pages 41 and 42 of the agenda pack, and that is the Wisbech High Street update. And I'd like to invite Councillor Seaton to propose this report.
Thank you, Chairman. This today, Cabinet, is quite a brief report because not a great deal has happened since the report at the last meeting. But on 11 and 12 High Street, the financial assessment of the two options for 11 and 12 have now been completed, and I will be bringing the paper to our February meeting, asking Cabinet to make a decision regarding which option should be taken forwards. And we need to make that decision at the next Cabinet meeting because time is pressing on, and we need to make sure that the lottery fund money is not lost. So it's important to make a decision then. On 24 High Street, the pre-contract services agreement work continues. This work will be completed in the next few weeks, with the council then moving into a contract for the bulk of development works with our partner for 24 High Street. This report is for note to the Cabinet, and I ask them to note it as it comes out. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Councillor Seaton. I'm happy to second that. Any comments or questions from any members? No, quite a brief, succinct and to the point report, and clearly there will be some more significant movement on this particular subject over the course of the next few weeks. So I'll take that is noted by members, if that's acceptable. Yep, good. Thank you very much indeed. Item 8 is the grant funding agreement for the Future High Street Fund construction works. This is on pages 43 to 48 of your agenda pack. And again, may I invite Councillor Seaton to propose this report.
Thank you, Chairman. The purpose of this report is to update the Cabinet on the March Future High Street Fund, Marketplace, Riverside and Broad Street work streams, and also seek Cabinet approval to enter into a grant funding agreement with Cambridgeshire County Council, allowing the project to proceed with the next step within the delivery phase, construction of the Riverside and Broad Street elements of the project. The project is following a process that started in 2019 with the Growing Fenland report, which highlighted community wishes to see improvements to the appearance and appeal of the High Street, improved traffic flow, and reduced congestion throughout the town centre, with improved visibility and use of the riverbank behind the toilet block. The project is being managed in a close collaborative partnership with Cambridgeshire County Council's Highways and Major Infrastructure team, and in conjunction with the March Area Transport Strategy project. As the project impacts on Cambridgeshire County Council assets, and the team has the expertise to manage projects of this magnitude, this collaborative approach was anticipated with the bids document. I would ask that the recommendation is for Cabinet to note the progress of the project as detailed in this report. The Cabinet authorises the S151 officer to enter into a grant funding agreement with Cambridgeshire County Council to allow the Broad Street construction contract to be let. Construction contract will be between Cambridgeshire County Council and the contractor, with the GFA following FDC to pay Cambridgeshire County Council from the FHSF fund grant for the contractor's works. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Seaton. May I have a second for that? Councillor Camp, thank you very much indeed. Right, I'll open the item up for discussion. Any comments from anyone? Councillor Mrs. French.
Thank you. Yeah, I would just like to point out I'm the chairman of the MATS which obviously it's a mixture of the Mats and the High Street. I don't have any direct interest, but I have been working on the project.
Thank you, Councillor Kent.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Councillor Seaton, for that report. Basically, where we are at the moment is a rather dry and technical report about a funding agreement that actually is to do with a plan that has major changes on the March Broad Street area. I'd like to split down what's actually going on there for the benefits of the public into 3 separate areas, which are listed in the report. The first is that the amount of public utilities that will be upgraded due to this. As we know, those people that live in March, we suffered a lot from burst water mains, exploding gas pipes, etc. And this provides an opportunity for them to actually put their aging infrastructure into the best possible position to update it for the future. So that work will be the first, apart from the marketplace, that goes ahead. And like any major project like that, there will be disruption. I'm really pleased to see the efforts that have gone into minimising the disruption, so that there'll be a north and south lane open at all times when possible. But we must remember that, you know, this aging infrastructure, which is nothing to do with the district council, it's great to see this replaced so that we don't have those emergency works happen again that did happen last year. The second part of the works is the County Council Mats Highways work, which is not just limited to the Broad Street scheme. This is a package of measures that all tie in together that will relieve congestion from March and its environments for the foreseeable future, including those housing developments and business developments coming forward in the local plan. So I just wanted to cap for the public what some of those are. So, for example, we're getting to the latter stages of definite funding for the Northern Link Road, which will go through the past the Long Hill Estate area up by the prison, link up with Tesco's. There will be a new junction at the Tesco's junction, the Hostmore junction with the West Beach Road. There'll be a redevelopment of Pease Hill roundabout, which will be enlarged in size to relieve the congestion there. There'll be a new or realigned junction, St. Peter's Road with Wimbledon Road. And all these measures all add up together with the Broad Street measures to relieve congestion in March area, and is led by the County Council. And that was the original driver for this entire project, how the County Council needed to relieve the congestion that we're experiencing in March. Fortuitously, as they went ahead with their plans, and we've tried to make sure that they're the best plans possible, Fenland District Council lobbied hard and was successful in securing a significant amount of funding to actually develop the public realm at the same time. I'm really pleased about that element, because the benefits that are coming to March in terms of the public realm improvements are separate to actually the disruption and the necessary change to road layout that the County Council is driving forward, that we've tried as best as members to help them on their way. So this dry report that we have today is a technical one. It's not a yes or no, do we go ahead? It's actually how the funding will be arranged. I'm fully supportive of that. And I think that one day when everything is finished and the disruption is over and we see how it all knits together, I think we will be happy, we will be there, we will be pleased. But unfortunately, like any old saying goes, you know, you can't make an omelette without breaking eggs. We are at that stage. There will be some disruption, but the officers who have worked on the phasing are working really hard to limit that. So I endorse this, and thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much indeed. Councillor Mrs. French.
Thank you. Well said, Councillor Kent. You missed out one very important element. The A141 in Hobbs Lot will be signalised as well.
Thank you. Any other comments on this paper? Right, just to remind everyone, the recommendations are at pages 43 and 44, and they request that Cabinet notes the progress of the report as detailed in the report. Sorry, the progress of this project as detailed in the report. And Cabinet also is asked to authorise the Section 151 officer to enter into a grant funding agreement with Cambridgeshire County Council to allow the Broad Street construction contract to be let. The construction contract will be between Cambridgeshire County Council and the contractor, with the funding agreement allowing FDC to pay Cambridgeshire County Council from the Future High Street Fund grant for the contractor's works. So I'll ask if this is agreed. Those in favour, please show. That's agreed unanimously. Thank you very much indeed. The recommendations are approved. Agenda item 9 is the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, which is on pages 49 to 96 of our agenda pack. Please may I ask Councillor Benny to propose this report.
Thank you, Chairman. At the Cabinet meeting held on the 11th of July 2022, members considered a report titled UK Shared Prosperity Fund and agreed to recommend 1. The 5 proposed Fenland District Shared Prosperity Fund projects to the Cambridge and Peterborough Combined Authority for inclusion in the local investment plan to be submitted to the Department for Levelling Up, Housing and Communities, and that 2. A contribution from Fenland's SPF fund be allocated to deliver CPCA area-wide skills and projects. The 5 Fenland Shared Prosperity Funds have now been approved by DULA, with a total amount of funding for Fenland being 1.299 million. The 3-year SFP fund allocated for Fenland projects will be paid on an annual basis by DULA to the Combined Authority. As the District Council is accepting shared prosperity funding from the CPCA, a decision is required to accept this funding. The recommendations of this report are that 1. Cabinet is requested to consider and recommend acceptance of shared prosperity funding from the Cambridgeshire and Peterborough Combined Authority for a 3-year period commencing years 22-23 and ending 2024-25. To delegate to officers responsibility for approving and finalising entry into the CPCA's SPF grant funding agreement, and to note that a further report will be presented to Cabinet for approval of the detailed proposals in relation to the procedures and documentation associated with the onward administration of the funding.
Thank you very much indeed, Councillor Benny. I'm happy to second that formally and open it up for discussion. Councillor Count.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to say congratulations to FDC, the officers and members involved again in securing extra funding for Fenland. Just like the last paper, you know, we are now a trusted partner and able for government to devolve funds here with the confidence that the projects will be delivered. I particularly welcome the one, it may not be the largest amount of funding, but the one tackling fly tipping through the Police and Crime Commissioner's office. I think that is an important issue and I'm glad that some extra resource has been allocated there. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much indeed. Any other comments from members? And are no further speakers. The recommendation has just been read out by Councillor Benny. I don't think I need to read it out a second time. Those in favour, please show. That's agreed unanimously. Thank you very much indeed. Item 10 on the agenda is the draft 6-month Cabinet Forward Plan, which is on pages 97 to 98 of your agenda pack. Are there any questions or comments? None. Thank you. Then the forward plan is noted for information. Thank you very much. Agenda item 11 is urgent items, which there are none. And so we move on now to agenda item 12, which is entitled Purchase of a Potential Development Site in March. Now, members will note that this report is said to contain information which is exempt from disclosure under paragraph 3 and paragraph 5 of Schedule 12A, part 1 of the Local Government Act 1972, because it is of a commercially sensitive nature relating to the financial and business affairs of Fenland District Council. It also contains legally privileged information. Further, we are advised that the public interest test has been applied and that on this occasion, the balance lies in favour of the exemption. May I ask any member who does not agree with this assessment and therefore the proposal to exclude the present public during the discussion of this item to please raise their objection now. Thank you. I see no dissent. Members, formally, I should have a vote on that. Those in favour of excluding the present public? That's unanimous. Thank you very much indeed. Member services, would you please now make the necessary arrangements to sever the link to YouTube, enabling us to continue the meeting in exempt session?
Thank you. I'll let you know as soon as we've ended.